Hi everyone, my name is Faranak. I'm the technical manager at Yates Horton Ag, and today's session is about almond pests and diseases. Yates Horton Ag cover products from three brands: Yates, OCP, and Cecil. Our website is hortag.com.au. Cecil products are manufactured locally in Australia. Our factory is in Tasmania. We also have warehouses across Australia and two main offices in Sydney and Melbourne. We have territory sales managers based in different states of Australia. If you want to get in touch with them, you can use the contact form on the website, or on the same page, you can find their contact details to contact them directly. My phone number is 0488088166, and my email address is faranak.nurbaksh@csol.com.au. You can also find us on social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Today's session, we will discuss key pests and diseases in almond, as well as the monitoring and IPM strategy. Aphids, mites, scale insect, and kernel feeding insects, they are common almond pests, and the very sensitive stage would be when we have kernel fill and close to harvest time. And they will affect the yield and, of course, crop quality. Major almond diseases are blossom blight, shot hole disease, rust, alternaria, and hull rot. And depending on weather, canopy density, and irrigation, the level of infestation might vary, and they can also affect the crop quality and yield. Effective pest and disease control focuses on airflow, orchard hygiene, precise irrigation, and regular monitoring. It's very important to assess the economic damage before making any decision about chemical application. If we have this assessment in place, we will avoid any unnecessary treatment and we will focus on real risks. In terms of monitoring and IPM workflow, everything starts with monitoring visual symptoms. Any signs of pests, diseases, infestation, they always help us. And the next step would be assessment and decision making. We need to assess how severe the situation is, what's the crop stage, and the best activity or approach that we can follow. And we need to have targeted responses. We need to have IPM workflow in place to use a holistic approach and using cultural, biological, and chemical control together. And we need to consider using chemical only when the assessment of economic damage justifies using the chemicals. And we need to have post-intervention review after any decision that we make, and after any strategy that we follow. We need to evaluate to see what caused the problem, how we managed it, was it effective or not, and how we can improve our monitoring and pest management for the next season. The first pest that we discuss here is Carpophilus beetle. It's one of the key economic insect pests in Australian almond industry. It attacks during whole split, and larvae and adults damage kernels and reduce crop value. To distinguish between this beetle and carob moth, one of the easiest way is just to look for fine powder frass and flattened tunnels that these beetles can create. In terms of control or preventing or managing this pest, hygiene and mummy removal, monitoring and harvest timing, uh, they are the best actually tools to consider. Carrot moss, it's a major almond pest in Australia, especially during whole split. Typical clues include webbing and lumpy fronds, with larvae feeding on both skin and kernel. The first step is the correct diagnosis. As I said, that can be mistaken by other pests, so it's very crucial to identify this pest correctly first. Then we can think about the second step, which can be monitoring and also traps or lure for pheromone-based options. Aphids. They are sap-sucking insects that they reduce vigor and contribute to honeydew, ants, and sooty mold. Beneficial insects can help to reduce the pressure of this pest and the damage that they might cause. So if we have any chemical application, we need to make sure that we preserve beneficial insects. Monitoring always comes first, and we should only use registered products that are not going to harm our beneficial insects. Mites and spider mites. They prefer hot and dry conditions. And again, monitoring beneficial conservation, they are actually the best tools for these insects. Hull rot is a major almond productivity disease in Australia, with both direct nut loss and future fruiting wood losses through strikes. Biggest risk begins shortly after hull split and is worsened by humidity, excessive nitrogen, and poor irrigation management. So, to effectively manage this disease, we need to consider irrigation behavior and how we can have better drainage system and reduce the humidity, and always consider a balanced approach for crop nutrition to avoid any excess nitrogen applying for trees. Almond rust is a fungal disease and it occurs more often during warm, humid, and wet weather. And it creates rusty spots on both sides of the leaves. Alternaria leaf spot, it prefers warm, humid conditions, and when the airflow is very poor, that can trigger the severe spotting and defoliation. Lesions that you can see in this photo, they can even get larger and they can become darker and cover the whole leaves, affecting the photosynthesis, yield, and crop quality. What we need to do, considering canopy density, humidity, irrigation, correct diagnosis on a timely manner, and orchard conditions. Leaf curl is a fungal disease that affects stone fruit trees, and one of them is almond. And infection can happen when buds open in cool, wet spring weather. Spores overwinter on bark and around buds. So the most effective way to control this fungal disease is considering copper-based fungicide application during winter time to manage these spores that are overwintering on bark and around buds. Symptoms is curled leaves with reddish and purplish color, as you can see in the photo. As I said, the best preventive action would be applying copper-based fungicide during dormancy, and then it reduces the disease pressure during the growth stage. At Yates Horton Ag, we have a copper-based organic certified fungicide that we will discuss later. The name of the product is Eco Copper 375WG. Phytophthora is another fungal disease that is linked to waterlogging, over-irrigation, and staying water around the tree trunk for a few days. Common signs include declining vigor, rotting roots, crown discoloration, and gummosis from trunk and scaffold cankers. The corrective actions or preventive actions that we can consider are proper drainage, irrigation discipline, sanitation, and rootstock tolerance. Bacterial spot or shot hole type symptoms. Bacterial spot causes sunken fruit lesions, and they create some symptoms, shot hole type symptoms on leaves as well. And they reduce the vigor of the whole crop, and they can actually affect the crop quality and yield. Shot hole disease. This is a fungal disease, and as you can see in the photo, it affects leaves, buds, and fruit, producing a small brown lesions that eventually dry out and fall away and create these shot holes on leaves. And it can be severe depending on the condition. This disease can have like can create severe infection by wet and humid condition, especially during the spring. Management typically involves good orchard sanitation, pruning for airflow, and the use of protective fungicide spray during periods of high infection risk. At Yates Horton Ag, we have a registered copper-based organic certified fungicide for this disease, Eco Copper 375WG. This product is copper-based, is organic certified. It's registered for shot hole disease and leaf care in Almond, and it has excellent solubility and dispersion. And it has a great copper stability under a wide range of pH. And the particle size distribution creates a great coverage on foliage, and it can easily contact the destructive bacteria and fungi to be effective. In terms of bioinoculant, we have a range of products, but the one that I selected to discuss today as part of our IPM workflow is Rhizovital. It's a highly concentrated liquid that contains a beneficial bacteria, Bacillus walesensis, and it colonizes around seeds and rhizosphere or root zone, and it supports successful seed germination, root growth, and great establishment. It can be mixed with some other chemicals, but it can be mixed with any products containing copper or bactericide. For application rate, you should always check the label and follow the information about compatibility with other chemicals. If you're not sure, you can always have a jar test before application. When we colonize the seeds and rhizosphere with this beneficial bacteria, we shift the root zone toward beneficial bacteria dominating the spots, and destructive bacteria and fungi won't have any place to become dominant. And this product works very well with sea salt commercial as well, because sea salt commercial increases the root growth and primes the crops for stress. And when we apply that, as well as rhizovital that is colonizing the root with beneficial bacteria, we will have great establishment, root growth, and it affects nutrient uptake and the efficiency of other products that we will use throughout our seasonal plan. The other point that I want to raise here is we know that Australian soils are normally low in phosphorus, and sometimes even when we apply fertilizers that include phosphorus, we still don't get the result as expected, and we still see purplish color or phosphorus deficiency symptoms on our plants. When we do the soil test for available and total phosphorus, we realize that we have a pool of total phosphorus sitting in the soil, but it's locked up for so many different reasons, and it hasn't become available for plants or trees to uptake. Antagonistic relation between nutrients, soil pH, soil temperature, and all different factors can affect phosphorus availability. Rhizovital can mobilize this locked up phosphorus and make it available for plants, and that's also additional benefit that this product has, and you can consider that as part of your root zone and crop health strategy. In terms of spray adjuvant, we have Sinertrol Horti oil. That is an Australian grown canola oil. It's GM-free, IPM-friendly, organic certified. It improves wetting and spreading. It reduces spray drift. It reduces chemical odor, reduces evaporation of a spray, and it minimizes UV degradation, which is very important when we apply biological products. It also minimizes wash off, and it can be mixed with insecticide, fungicide, and herbicide. For compatibility and also application rate, always check the label on the product. If you are applying insecticide, fungicide, and herbicide as part of your chemical control, you want to make the most of it and make it very efficient. So applying a spray adjuvant and proper product would actually make this purpose feasible, and this is one of the products that you can consider as part of your strategy. To prepare this presentation, of course, I use Yates Horton Ag website and technical information from the brochures and product labels, but I also use a range of other websites and articles that I listed here. If you are interested in checking this information and learning more, feel free to check these websites. They have a good range of articles and information about Almond. Thank you so much for your time and attention. As I discussed previously, we have 3 separate sessions for Almond. The first one is general information about orchard management, and the second one was about crop nutrition and soil health management, and this presentation was about pests and diseases. I hope you found all of them helpful. Please feel free to reach out if you have any question or you need more technical information. We are more than happy to help you. Also, we are happy to receive your feedback and suggestions for future presentation. Thank you so much.